What is up, everybody? It's your boy Verdict here, and as always, thank you so much for stopping by, ladies and gents. It means a lot to me. Now, today we're gonna have a video, and I know it's gonna get a little bit hot in the comment section, the dislikes. I just hope you guys bear with me so I put you on game, and really for you guys to understand what I mean. Now, I've been a speedrunner. You guys know what a speedrunner is? Well, speedrunners in reality are people who just go into a game and they repeat it and they try to go as faster and faster and faster to set up a record. It's how I've been approaching games for the better part of 2 decades now. Now, with that being said, let me tell you what I mean in a little bit more detail. See, the main topic in BDO right now, aside of, well, the current unfortunately poor state of the game, I admit it, everybody knows it, it's just that I'm maybe a little bit coping too much, that it's not as bad as I see it to be, okay? Ladies and gents, let's really say it as it is. If you see a lot of my friends, one of them being, my good friend Fake Uniform, you would see that his entire content is pretty much revolving around endgame gear has absolutely no meaning. And to that, I have a little bit of a response. See, while I agree with the guy, I don't believe that we've done our best to make it as fun as we possibly can. So to provide a little bit more context onto what I just said, I need to take you back to another game. And we have to talk about World of Warcraft. And I know everybody was still complaining, stop comparing the games. I get it, but you gotta listen. We have to explore the market if we know what the best solution for an issue is. And it's something that Pearl Abyss unfortunately haven't done. So why not we take a page out of somebody's book who resolved the issue of endgame gear doesn't matter? How about we do that? I think that's very fair. That's fair. You take that deal, I take that deal. Let's make that deal. So in World of Warcraft Classic, a game which has been existing right now for the better part of 20-ish something years, 21, 22 years, I think it's something like this. I've been playing that game for about 17, approaching 18 myself. So in World of Warcraft Classic, there is also the issue of, well, we just got to the end game, we got the best in slot gear, what now? And there is nothing past that now. And the community caused a reaction to this particular situation. In World of Warcraft Classic, you get the gear a lot faster than what you get in other games. You literally can spend in the final piece of that expansion's content about a month to get the best in slot gear, and then there is nothing for you to do outside of just staying best in slot with the best gear that you possibly can and just re-enter the raids. So what the community did for this particular situation is, well, they paved a way forward into entertaining themselves. That's exactly what they did, and it's a very, very smart thing to do. What those communities did for the different expansions is they created the things known as logging systems. What the logging systems are essentially a way to record players' performance, put it in a pool with other players, and that particular performance then to be measured by ranking the performers from top to bottom, giving them the rewards of quote-unquote, well, prestige. And that's something that we are kind of having in Black Desert Online, but let me express to you something a little bit different. In World of Warcraft Classic, you have this thing called parsing. It's those particular numbers. You get ranked in terms of the first in the world, second, third, fourth, fifth, yada yada, up until the thousands of people for specialization and class individuals. Now, this is very cool, however, and it's actually not just good for the players having that prestige, having that extra thing to do, competing with one another, but it's also one of the finest piece of measurements for the company which runs that game, Blizzard, to get feedback onto what's good, what's not good, what's underperforming, and for them to actually study player behavior. That is something exceptionally good. It's something that we're missing in BDO. In Black Desert, we have a system already in it's here. It's literally in front of us, and it's called Garmoth.com. It's a system which basically you as a player diligently, please do Garmoth.com diligently, put all of your loot, all of your hours in this table, and they go into the poll and they exact an average for the people to see into the top grinders, into the top performers. Basically, you have, let's just say you open a Tungrat Ruins, a spot which I very much love, and you see in Tungrat Ruins, which is the number 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and yada yada. See, imagine that in Garmoth.com now we have an extra feature, and it's called top grinders. I don't know, something like this. And now in the PvE scene, you get a very different table. Right next to what you get in terms of top grinders for the particular spot, now we have top classes with top players inside it, verified results to actually exact a very, very good and lore accurate tier list for that particular piece of content. And Imagine it like this. This goes for every single spot in the game, for every single place in the game, and us, the players, now have a little bit of a different incentive. Or in other words, we're doing what the World of Warcraft players done. We pave a path forward so that we could have extra fun when the game itself does not provide that fun for us. If the biggest MMORPG in the history of MMORPGs is doing that, and actually they are incentivizing, especially in the past decade, they've incentivized the logging system, then why shouldn't we do the same thing for Black Desert Online? Why shouldn't we introduce in Garmouth.com with the help of Skull? Man, I hope Skull is like this right now. I really hope he is. And we can go ahead and we can make those particular graphs. We can go ahead and make those particular results visible for everybody. And now we can exact a real tier list for the spots. Now we can reward this. Now Pearl Abyss can get behind that and say, hey, we're going to host an event for Tungrat Ruins, or an event for Dekia Thornwood, or an event, whatever, you get the idea. And the number one person who grinds in these particular spots, get the highest trash, is going to win an outfit costume. I don't know, just a stupid idea, really, from the top of my dome. But with that being said, ladies and gents, I think that we've grown very complacent and we can actually bring forth the tools for our entertainment. Now, do I agree that BDO has an endgame issue? Yes. Does this mean that the endgame issue will be alleviated in terms of the gear losing meaning whenever you have too much of it? Yes, because you're creating a whole new separate fan-run system which is going to reward your performance, and now basically you kind of get a little bit of clout from that. To be honest with you, we love clout. Everybody, I mean, come on, man. We do everything for the fame, right? We just do it. Let's be honest. Look at Blue Squadron. Fuck. But anyway, it's a very cool thing that I think we're missing. And this goes beyond, guys. This goes beyond. Imagine this for boss shrines. We put them in Garmouth.com. And it's actually updated, and you get a result, and you get a verified, person going inside and just observing these fights. And now you have a world standing in who did it faster, and it's actually going to be in the one place where everybody wants it to be. Now we're creating this whole new fan-made system for players to compete within. And I think this is better than waiting for Pearl Abyss to do it for us. I think if we ourselves go ahead and pave that path, I think it's going to be so much better than us being complacent waiting for the developer to do it, because it's obvious to us, similar to how Blizzard and World of Warcraft, that they won't do it. So why not us do it and then get Pearl Abyss on the case? Imagine that Pearl Abyss now will be able to give us an option to provide even more details for it. Imagine it like this. You actually get to log your performance, what keybinds you've done, what X, Y, and Z you have done, how's your mobility, and now you can study those performances. Of course, you can only dream about this for now, but I would rather have that dream than simply say that endgame is useless because we haven't done everything within us as players in a sandbox to create the castle that we want. Boom.